for a lot of people right now, they don't want to buy Bitcoin because it's a lot of money, like $29,000. I mean, you could have bought it at $16,000. I mean, now you're at, $30,000. You just, essentially just doubled your money. You went from $15,000 to $30,000 if you just bought one Bitcoin. People are not understanding how important Bitcoin is to the whole other part of the ecosystem. Hey guys, Villarreal here. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about Bitcoin. In my last video, I talked about what the price of Bitcoin was going to do for the month, and I posted that video on October 4th, a little bit starting into the month, but I kind of essentially just stated my thesis, and I want to show you guys this video just real quick before we get into what I talk about today. But essentially, we are just trending higher, and I don't think that this month will be a red month for us. I think it will be kind of a green month, and following other Octobers, we could maybe see, I mean, this is just all speculation at the end of the day, right? But we could see a price move maybe back up here to the $31,000 price level or $32,000 price level, and that could roughly put us, a 17% gain. So essentially, I've just kind of been explaining what my thought process was behind this, and it's kind of fallen true right now. I'll show you guys the chart where we are right now, and I'll go back to where I was on the weekly. I think it was monthly. There you go. So I'll show you where I was, kind of talking about where we were going to go. And I talked about in other videos, maybe we trade higher and maybe we trade lower from where we are right now. But we actually have started the month and we're maybe only, right now we're 10% up for the month. And from the top of the wick where we were earlier when we hit $30,000, we're at 11%. And so we still have maybe another, 10 days of the month until we actually get into, the last part of the month. And you can see I made this this wedge right here of it just kind of trading sideways, and we're forming a very nice head and shoulders pattern. I mean, do we get rejected from right here and come back down? Maybe that's a possibility. Maybe that might happen. But I think with what's happening right now in the news, the SEC approving Bitcoin ETFs, everyone's talking about the Bitcoin ETFs, and I do want to show you guys the Google trends, and I'll look it up right now for you guys as we talk about this. But the Google trends for Bitcoin and for Bitcoin ETF, and I'll show you guys right here the Bitcoin ETF, you can see that we've it's probably because that's not how you search it up. There you go. You can see that over the last let's do 90 days, you see we've been trying to slowly been trending higher, and we're at 100% lookup or Google search term for Bitcoin ETF. And same thing if you go look at just Bitcoin. I'll just do Bitcoin right here, and Bitcoin, we were at 40 for looking at Bitcoin, and now we're at 72. You can see the comparison is that we're slowly ticking up. Now everyone is looking at Bitcoin, and it's no secret that people are looking at Bitcoin, and people want to buy Bitcoin. People have been wanting to get a financial instrument for the longest time, and I'll put myself back on the full scene camera, so let's try and kind of talk to you guys a little bit more about this. And it's really developing what's going to happen in the next few days, months, and weeks, and years. We are going to go into the next bull cycle, which if you don't know when the bull cycle is going to start, it's already started. We've already put in our lowest lows for Bitcoin that we've had in a while. You see down here when we formed down our lows right here at around $16,000, we were just trying to trading hot lower. And there's a lot of news that came out too, especially with the SPF trial, that they were suppressing the price of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin went over $20,000, they were selling Bitcoin. They were essentially short selling Bitcoin, and then they imploded. And whenever they were trying to short Bitcoin at 20,000, it went all the way back down here to 16,000, and we traded sideways, and then we came right back up. And the move to the downside was very explosive. But I don't know if you guys remember this, but this was very, very fast, and we were only in this this around $16,000 for maybe only 60 days, 2 months, from November to January. And from January, we've just kind of just trended higher. And now we are forming higher lows. We're forming higher lows right here, right here, right here, and then finally right here and right here. I mean, you can kind of see that these may be, a double bottom, and we're essentially just forming a W. I mean, if you wanted to really draw, any way you want to perceive this is just, it's bullish. It's really bullish. And, we can look back at previous, years in the past where Bitcoin was trading higher and was trading lower. And I'll show you guys what I mean. If we just take out this right here and we just form right there, you can see over here in 2019, we had traded in here for a while, and we were only in this zone for, let's see, maybe only 135 days. I mean, if you really want to think about it from the lowest point right here to where we went back up here, I don't want to, solidify my point, but it's just time-based corrections. It really is. Time-based corrections is what helps this market. We can do two things in this market. We can go, we can trade higher in price and be very, very volatile, right? and trade sideways and be even more volatile. But on the way up, you know, we fall back down just as fast. And right now, we are just building support. And if you want to look at this on the weekly time frame, which I think is really important for new traders to understand the weekly time frame, you know, if you want to measure the move from the bottom of here to the top of here and say that this move would be to the top of this breakout point, it puts us back at $57,000. Now, I'm not trying to be a permit bull, but it just makes sense. And even if you look over here at the Bitcoin dominance, right here, Bitcoin dominance, we are trending higher, right? You know, we have been putting in this higher low, and I think we'll probably top out around 60%. But for us to get to 60%, it took us a little bit of time from the start of November all the way up to now, October, 8 months, and we were only up from 40% up to, we're up 30% essentially. So I think we will start experiencing alt season in maybe, you know, another 7 weeks, 49 days, and which that puts us kind of the start of the new year, January. And as these Bitcoin gains and as Bitcoin continues to just trade higher, we could see altcoins start pumping early this December. Now, if you don't understand what's happening with altcoins against the Bitcoin pairs, is they're just getting decimated. I mean, we look at Bitcoin Cash from early 2019, just decimated, right? If you look from Litecoin, it just gets decimated. If you look at Ethereum, right now, Ethereum's getting decimated. And, you know, we were right here when I was talking about, you know, we might break down here. And, you know, this is free fall territory for the longest time. And so a lot of these altcoins, they're going to bleed into Bitcoin as Bitcoin continues to pump higher. And it's not because, you know, Bitcoin, people are trading their Bitcoins for, or people are trading their altcoins for Bitcoin. It's because the price of Bitcoin is outpricing the price of these altcoins, and people are not going to be trading their Bitcoin for altcoins. Now, the market price right now for Ethereum is at 0.005. And, you know, at the top of, you know, whenever we started here at the end of January, it's just been slowly just trending lower, lower. And maybe we have a little bit of support right here when we trade sideways, but I think right here is just free fall. I mean, there is no previous support anywhere where we were just building, you know, time preference. I mean, this is going to be really heavy resistance for the longest time. And you can see we never got past our old Bitcoin high for Ethereum. And so it wouldn't surprise me if the price of Bitcoin came back here and Ethereum only traded for 0.03 Bitcoin. And let's just say, I pull out my calculator for you guys. If the price of Bitcoin is roughly at $150,000, well, let's just see how much Bitcoin to ETH you could buy. And right now, I say we would probably trade around here. You can't see what I'm showing you guys, but we would probably trade around here at the 0.03, right? So let's say Bitcoin's at $150,000, right? And we trade 0.03 Bitcoin for it, $4,500 Ethereum, right? That's kind of the same price it was in the last bull run. It's not that shocking, and people think Ethereum is going to be this thing that just keeps on scaling, but Ethereum is not scaling right now. People aren't building on Ethereum. There's only NFTs on Ethereum. There's only, you know, layer 2s on Ethereum, and Ethereum right now is not bullish for me in the sense that people are just not buying Ethereum right now. They're buying Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is going to be the asset that people continue to buy. You know, even if Bitcoin gets to $150,000 and we trade right here back at the bottom, that could very well mean, you know, Ethereum's still going to go up in price. I'm not saying you can't make money on Ethereum, but you're losing money against Bitcoin. And so let's just say that we fall down here and we go zoom down here at the 0.03, and we continue to fall down here until we reach support. And this is kind of the last time we've really had a lot of major price influence right here. At this level, I mean, it would only make sense we come back down here and establish more support and continue to go back up. Now, let's just say Bitcoin goes to, you know, from 150, people start selling Bitcoin, start trying to go into alts. Let's say Bitcoin goes to $120,000, right? And we go back up here to maybe 0.04 or 0.05. I don't think we're going to get back to, you know, I mean, everything in the past for Bitcoin and against altcoins, it's just Bitcoin just keeps going against the Bitcoin pairs. Or I should, sorry, altcoins keep going lower against their Bitcoin pairs. I mean, you can look at anything. You know, every single chart of every single crypto that I pick up, it's just keeps going down, and it's going to keep going down for the longest time. And I think that's important for a trader like myself to explain to somebody else that's new to the game, or, you know, has a little bit of experience, and maybe this is your second, first, or third bear cycle, but altcoins do not outperform Bitcoin. They've never have outperformed Bitcoin. They outperform Bitcoin whenever we're in a bull market, but in the long term of things, the grand scheme, they don't just outperform Bitcoin. So the biggest thing you can do, and I know for a lot of people right now, they don't want to buy Bitcoin because it's a lot of money, like $29,000. I mean, you could have bought it at $16,000. I mean, now you're at, you know, $30,000. You just, you know, essentially just doubled your money. You went from $15,000 to $30,000 if you just bought one Bitcoin, right? People are not understanding how important Bitcoin is to the whole other part of the ecosystem. You can keep buying your Ethereums, you can keep buying your Cardanos, you can keep buying all your other altcoins in hopes to be rich, but you don't know what you're doing. And the safest thing for someone that wants to, you know, navigate through the crypto space or be a crypto holder is just hold a little bit of Bitcoin. And I'll just keep talking about this, you know, this exchange rate for Bitcoin. And, you know, I don't think Bitcoin's going to go back up to its all-time highs for this. I think, you know, as time goes on, we will form higher lows on Bitcoin dominance as Bitcoin gets less saturated and people put more of their money into altcoins. But Bitcoin is still going to outperform every other cryptocurrency. It just really is. There's cryptos that have been put in the past from 2017 and 2022, and now there's going to be new cryptos that are going to be put into the bull cycle that are not going to survive. I mean, they'll survive in the sense that they'll still have community and still have people that are essentially bag holders and suckers that bought at the top. But, I mean, it's just going to keep going. And I can't stress this enough that even if we do get up here to the 0.60 or the point, you know, 56. I mean, I'm not saying that we go all the way up to 0.6 or 0.70 again. I'm saying we just trade a little bit higher. And even from here, if we go from the 52% all the way up to maybe like back up here and we form this higher, like that, I mean, it just makes sense. It just makes sense where we're going. And I can't stress this enough for anybody that wants to buy Bitcoin right now. And I know you guys probably don't watch these videos as much as I want you guys to watch them, but I mean, just get a little bit more experience. And right now, everyone's trying to get edge on the market. Everyone's trying to figure out what Bitcoin is going to be the next, what crypto is going to be the next big thing, or what's going to be the next big crypto, or it doesn't matter. What matters is you buy a little bit of Bitcoin. And I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. I'm not. I have altcoins. But right now, for people that don't understand and people that are trying to get into the space, don't buy Cardano. Don't buy Ethereum. Buy some Bitcoin. Even if the return is less than what you would have gotten right now if you were to buy Ethereum at, you know, $1,500 right now, and then let's say Ethereum goes to, you know, $20,000. I mean, it's a theoretical problem, right? But it's just right now we just don't have enough liquidity, and liquidity is not going to come from altcoins. Liquidity is going to come from Bitcoin and people buying Bitcoin, people buying these spot Bitcoin ETFs, right? I mean, where's the liquidity going to go? Follow where the money is. The money is going to Bitcoin. It's not going to Ethereum. It's not going to Cardano. It's not going to Solana. It's not going to Litecoin. It's not going to any of these other things. They're going to the Bitcoin ETF. And when the Bitcoin ETF comes out, and what's really going to happen when the Bitcoin ETFs come out is there's going to be an explosion in price. A lot of people are going to be buying crypto, and there's going to be almost what's going to seem like a mega bull run, and it's going to be a perma bull run, and nothing's never going to come back down. But if you know anything about markets, you know anything about human psychology, everything has to come back down. Everything has to have its ebbs and its flows. And it makes sense. I mean, if you want to come look at this chart that I drew right here. Let me get that back over there. There you go. Okay. If you want to come say that we trade higher, trade it here, trade higher, trade it here, and then come back down and then trade higher, it wouldn't make sense for Bitcoin to maybe top out in June, July, and then we just kind of just fade into obscurity. Fade into obscurity. Until we get back into our 2028 bull cycle, and maybe we top out at 50%. Maybe that's where we go, because, you know, we have rejection right here, a lot of support right here, rejection right here, support right here. So maybe that's what happens. And, you know, we continue to go higher, and we see Bitcoin be the asset that everybody wants to hold. No more altcoins, no more this, because people are not going to make a Ethereum ETF. They're not going to make a Cardano ETF. They're going to make a Bitcoin ETF because Bitcoin's like gold. And I don't think there's enough market security or market studies for these cryptocurrencies that are other than altcoins. It's just not there. There's not enough data on them. There's not enough security for an investor to want to say, I'm going to put $100 million into this altcoin. If you had $100 million, would you put it into Cardano? If you had $100 million, would you put it into Ethereum? Like, really answer yourself that question. Like, really understand, like, does that make logical sense to an investor, right? Bitcoin, it's proved itself. Bitcoin's proved itself. It has the network security. It has people that are all over the globe that want to have this asset. People are want to accumulate it. People have been accumulating it for the longest time. People aren't buying more Ethereum. They're using it. People aren't buying more, Trezors. I had a friend. I'll give you an example, and I'll kind of, this is probably the last thing before I end the video, but Trezors was a coin that was essentially the first proof of stake crypto. And you want to see where Trezors is right now? It's not looking too hot. And, maybe I look at Trezors on the crypto index right here, right? Trezors has been out since 2018. It didn't get past its all-time high of $10, and it's a staking coin, what's Ethereum right now? Ethereum is just a staking coin for the time being. And I'll go back to the crypto index for it right here. If you really want to, make yourself believe that this is a permanent bull chart, maybe we go up here to $15,000. I'm not saying Ethereum doesn't go higher, but I'm saying right now there's not enough liquidity. Right now there's not enough people buying crypto. Right now there's not enough people that have extra funds. People tend to think that right now there's enough liquidity for that stuff to happen. And I really want to make a bullish video for you guys saying that all these altcoins are going to go to the moon and things are going to happen. And maybe I'll make those videos in, another month or 2 months or 3 months when things actually start picking up. But as we are going to cover on this channel, there's no BS. Please don't make yourself distracted to the fact that you can't make money in this market. There's money to be made. But you have to understand the core principles. And the core principles is, how do you trade Bitcoin? How do you accumulate Bitcoin? And how do you possess Bitcoin? Every single crypto guide I've ever heard on the internet says you have to have 50% of your allocation in Bitcoin. The other 50%, hell, go to the gambling casino, go gamble your money. But in this channel, I'm not going to tell you to go do that. I'm not going to go tell you to go buy Dogecoin. I'm not going to go tell you to go buy SHIB. I'm not going to tell you to buy these shit coins that essentially don't have any utility other than just community status and people that want to invest in these cryptos with you. And they're only doing it because they want to make money off it. Let's just be honest. They only do it to make money. I'm not going to tell you that Bitcoin's going to make you a millionaire and Bitcoin's going to make you a billionaire or trillionaire, but it has a better chance than Dogecoin. It has a better chance than Ethereum. And, maybe this is the time where people are giving up on alts. And maybe I'm giving up on alts right now, and alts are going to explode, and I'm going to be proven wrong. But there is a time and place for everything, and right now it's just not alt season. Maybe in December it's alt season, and we go from January to, all the way up into April or March of when the Bitcoin halving happens, and then Bitcoin continues to skyrocket. As Bitcoin levels off at around $60,000 or last all-time highs, and people will get a lot more FOMO, a lot more FUD. Things are going to happen. Coins are going to go up. Bitcoin's going to go up. Everything's going to go up. I just can't tell you when. I just can't tell you how much. But what I can tell you is that it's going to happen, and there's going to be people that are going to be millionaires, and people are actually going to make more money than they ever thought they could actually make in a day or a month. And so I want to sign off the video by telling you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like the video, comment, like, subscribe. I'm making videos every week. I'm trying to make you guys more knowledgeable. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.